Thanks for coming today. My name is Brian Waldman. I'm the Vice President of Marketing and Strategy at a company called Merchant Warehouse, which most of you probably have never heard of. We do credit card processing services for basically businesses of all type. And today I'm going to talk to you about what I hope is an opportunity for affiliates and maybe even some merchants like ourselves to take advantage of technology and really develop a much more robust affiliate system and enable to attract really legitimate affiliates to a space where otherwise I don't think there's been a lot of competition because it's so hard to track leads and success. I've been asked to say a few things before I start, so apparently there's a messaging system set up so that you can send questions. Feel free to do so and we'll take them at the end. I also have one of my colleagues in the audience with a wireless microphone who will come around as well. So you can send your messages as directed here and I will get them. Also, I'm asked to remind you to fill out your feedback forms, hoping that you have nice things to say. If you don't, you can forget to fill them out. And also, we shouldn't take the whole hour. My plan is to go over what I have to say, which I hope is interesting for you, and then leave question for really not just a conversation between myself and you, but hopefully within the audience members themselves, because what I think this opportunity is for people to talk about different ways that they've made a non-traditional affiliate program work. So I'm hoping the discussion goes in that direction. So again, my goals here is not to screw up. I am not a seasoned affiliate professional. I've kind of fell into this because we do a lot of paid search marketing and we needed to launch an affiliate program. So we've learned along the way, and I'm sure that 99% of you know more than I do. So I'm hoping that what I say is interesting and at least gets some thoughts going. I'm hoping that you leave this with the idea that at least B2B marketing as B2B industries are places where you can go. And maybe it's not even B2B, maybe it's more lead generation, really anything with offline delayed sale and perhaps even an offline conversion. These are spaces that it's tough to do affiliate programs, and maybe you leave here thinking that it's something you could pursue. Hopefully you'll have some better ideas about how to do that if it's something you're interested in, and I'll hopefully tell you about our story, which I think is pretty interesting about how we launched our own affiliate program. So again, Merchant Warehouse provides merchant accounts. It's a pretty straightforward business. The way it works is an annuity model. So we sign up a merchant, we pay a lot up front for sales and marketing, and then over the course of a couple years, we get a revenue stream of residuals, which is basically a small percentage of each transaction that a merchant runs. They have to pay. Most of the money goes to MasterCard and Visa. A very small percent actually makes its way to us. So over the course of several years, we make our money back. The company's been around for a long time, and after about 10 years, we couldn't spend any more on Google efficiently. There just wasn't really anything more we could do. I know a lot of companies run into the same problem. Our sales team in-house is almost entirely inbound lead driven. So there are guys who are answering the phones, following up on pre-apps. So we needed to get off Google. It just wasn't, there was no more slack left there. So a little over a year ago, we launched an affiliate program, which obviously I'm going to get into a lot more in detail, but now we're paying out about $140,000 a month to affiliates and signing hundreds and hundreds of new accounts on this affiliate program, which we basically made up from scratch. So we're completely new to this too. So one of the things that I'm not quite sure of myself is, does that help us or hurt us that we're completely new to this? I mean, I think when you go into something not knowing a lot, you're not constrained by what the rest of the industry is doing. But at the same time, we don't have the advantage that a lot of people have when they start an affiliate program about knowing what the best practices are. So, you know, as I'm speaking, if you guys think, wow, you guys are doing this wrong, if you do something different, you'll have a lot more success, I'd love to hear that. So please don't feel like you're going to hurt my feelings if you think that we're doing something wrong or you know a better way to do it. I'd love to hear that feedback. So our story isn't really unique. You know, there's a lot of businesses that do some sort of product or service that's an offline delayed sale that has a, you know, a high value, that people are willing to pay a lot of money for leads and a lot of money for closes. You can usually identify these, and I'll talk about this a little later, by who's spending a lot on PPC. You know, in my space, clicks for our primary keywords like credit card processing and merchant accounts cost upwards of $25, $30, $35 for the top positions on Google. So clearly there's a lot of space for an affiliate to make money. If I'm willing to pay Google $35 a click, then, you know, there's room there. There's a lot of opportunity. Non-traditional conversions, right? So one of our first hurdles was that how are we going to do an affiliate program when we can't put a cookie on a confirmation page and capture 100% of our conversions? Half of our conversions are offline via phone calls. So, you know, there's a lot of industries that are that way. A lot of businesses, their primary goal of people visiting their website is a phone call. And affiliates, we've found, almost completely discard that as an opportunity. Well, we've figured out a way to make that an opportunity for affiliates, to allow them to take advantage of that. Oh, I'm sorry, one point I missed there. So offline sale, another important aspect, I think, of industries that are good potential for this is that there's a high close rate. So we don't get tens of thousands of leads or millions of clicks a month. We get tens of thousands of clicks, but we end up with thousands of closed accounts. So we have a very high close rate on leads that we are able to generate. So when we went into this affiliate program effort, we really wanted it all. And that was one of the things that made it take so long, because we really wanted our cake and we wanted to eat it too. You know, we wanted originally to go to a network and hope that they could guide us and say, yeah, if you do this and that, then it'll work. And really, the networks all said, we can't help you. There's no technology we have. There's no payment structure that we have. And none of our affiliates will sign up for your programs. That really wasn't an option for us. And the traditional affiliate comp models didn't work because there was no percentage of sale or easy way to measure all of our leads. Plus, of course, like any good organic optimization person, we wanted straight links. How do you do straight links with an affiliate program? All of the networks do redirects. Again, I know I'm sounding ignorant. You all know this, but I don't know what I don't know. So we wanted more control than normal over our own affiliates as well. So we didn't, I've worked in paid search marketing and therefore been exposed to affiliate programs. And I kept hearing horror stories about affiliates who were hijacking brands and trouble monitoring what affiliates were saying about a company if they were doing websites that had content. And we really wanted to recruit high-quality affiliates and give them a really legitimate opportunity, allow them to make a lot of money, but not have the downside of having kind of an out-of-control network and having to go to one of the big networks to say, hey, we're having trouble with this affiliate who we don't even know. We wanted to have a relationship with our affiliates. We wanted to know who they were. We wanted them to know who we were. They wanted us to believe we wanted them to believe in us, and we wanted to believe in them. So it's really a little bit different than just casting a big wide net and catching whoever comes in. And we can afford a lot of payouts, so we really wanted the affiliates to be able to see that and benefit from that. So we had some challenges that we outlined at the very beginning, and we said, how are we going to come over these things? So the first, obviously, is tracking, right? If we get half our leads in phone calls, how in the world are we going to allow an affiliate to generate traffic to our website and know that it came from that affiliate if someone calls into our sales team and becomes a lead? I mean, that's our best lead. So how in the world am I going to miss half of those and not pay the affiliate for them? I'm sure that's a problem with any kind of website where there's a phone number that you're sending traffic to, and the expectation is that you're just going to lose that lead if you're an affiliate or lose that sale. But we figured out a way to handle that. The second one was trust. Since we're not going through a network, since we have a delayed offline sale, how do we build trust with an affiliate? How do we allow our partners to see the traffic they're sending to us and what's happening with it? Did that deal close? How many of the 800 clicks I sent you, how many became leads? How am I going to get paid And how can I trust you guys? I don't even know who you are. So how do we build that trust? Recruitment, which is why I'm here and has been one of the biggest problems we've had. Since we're in a non-traditional space, and since our model isn't, doesn't allow an affiliate to say, if I spend $1,000, I'm going to know within a day how much I'm going to get back, since there's that kind of hard sell involved, it's been difficult to recruit affiliates for us. And we've solved that. We haven't solved it at all. We've made steps towards solving it. We've made a lot of progress, but it's clearly still a challenge that we have. And there's systems problems, because since we're not in the networks, and since we're recruiting affiliates individually, we're getting different kinds of affiliates and noticing that there's different kinds of opportunities. And in those opportunities, there are different kinds of customers being sent our way. So how can we help different affiliates who have different kinds of customer bases, who are leveraging different kinds of traffic, so that we can do the best possible job with their leads and pay them the most money? So hopefully I'm going to be able to go through how we solve these challenges and maybe get some ideas from you all about what else we think we can do. So tracking. Here was the hardest one and the most expensive one. How do we track these offline leads? And even better, how do we track an offline sale? Credit back to an affiliate. Well, we'd been using a company for years called ClickPath. It's gone through different hands. It's now owned by a company called Who's Calling. And there's a couple other companies that do this. There's Key Metrics and one or two others that I'm aware of that allow you to have a phone number very prominently on your website. And when someone gets to your website, that phone number is dynamic. And based on where they're coming from, that phone number will change. And it will follow that person throughout their visit on the website. And if they come back to the website, as long as the cookie is still active, they will continue to see that same phone number. And the system allocates that phone number to a specific ad outlet or affiliate, so it knows any call that comes in from that phone number is from that affiliate. We'd been doing that for a long time, and that was great, but it wouldn't solve our problem, because we'd know the call came in from an affiliate, but we wouldn't be able to tie that to a lead. We wouldn't be able to say this call became this lead and became this closed account. It's easy with forms. We can all do forms, but the phone calls were the hard thing. And we really felt like we couldn't solve this problem without the phone calls. So we bought a voice over IP phone system from Avaya. I'm sure there's many providers with which it would work. And we developed an in-house tracking system. And the details of it are probably too boring to go into, but the gist of it is that when someone calls one of those dynamic phone numbers on our website, one of our sales reps picks up the phone, and on their computer pops a blank lead. And embedded within that blank lead is a unique identifier. And then the sales rep fills in the information from that blank lead, and then forever that unique identifier is tied back to where the click came from. So we get all the marketing information within the lead itself, and therefore forever, no matter what happens with that lead, if it closes a year later or a day later, we're able to know it came from Google, or it came from this affiliate, or it came from this banner campaign we did. Same with any online leads. They all come into our system with these unique identifiers in them. Allowed us to do both on and offline tracking, which also allowed us to recruit different kinds of affiliates. We have affiliates who are accountants, business consultants, or even just in industries where they have a lot of access to other businesses, associations. So it really has opened the door to a lot of different kinds of affiliates as well as traditional affiliates. So our CRM system is homegrown, but I don't think it has to be. I think there are ways to work with a Salesforce or something else, and anything basically with an API and an IP phone system, I think you could pull this off. The other thing it allowed us to do was, since we can identify sources coming in, we can route these leads differently, and we'll get into that a little bit more later, but that opened up some additional opportunities as well. And I'm sure you guys are going to have questions about how exactly we did this, and I'm happy to answer that. It's just a little bit boring to go into it now. So if you want to either ask specific questions in the follow-up or come up after the presentation, I'll be happy to describe in more detail how we did that. And I've got, again, some colleagues here with me who can get into some more detail than I. So then the other issue we talked about before was trust. You know, who's Merchant Warehouse? How are affiliates going to trust that we're going to pay them? And we looked to solve that a couple different ways as well. First thing we decided was, you know, an affiliate, we really care about a closed account. And we would love to pay everybody based on a closed account because then everybody's got skin in the game. But if you're a new affiliate coming into our program, you don't know that we have a good sales team. There's no trust there. So we decided what we would do would be allow affiliates to choose how they got paid. They could get paid by the lead, they could get paid by the close, or they could get paid by residuals, which was a little, you know, based on the amount of money that we make on an account over time. It's interesting what ends up happening most of the time is that the affiliate comes to us, and rightfully too, this is what I'd do, signs up by the lead, and then sees that our close rate is so high that they're leaving a ton of money on the table by not going by the close. So they usually, within the first month, will switch to by the close. And I would say almost 100% of the time that's what ends up happening. But we wouldn't have been able to recruit those affiliates if we weren't paying by the lead to start with. We have a portal, so an affiliate can come onto our portal. It's affiliate.merchantwarehouse.com. And they can see our program, they can read the descriptions, and they can also see their leads and how many of those are closing. So they themselves can at least see, not quite in real time, but close to real time, the efforts I'm doing are paying off. I'm getting leads. I have some metrics that are in place to show me that I'm making money. And obviously that's a huge trust factor. And not using a network, we really had to develop that ourselves. Dedicated links and toll-free numbers. So we talked about the dynamic numbers on our website. Well, for an affiliate, there's a one-to-one relationship between a phone number and basically an affiliate. So we not only is it that we can display the phone number dynamically on our website, but we can give the affiliate the 800 number, and they can put it wherever they want. So there's a real trust factor in that because they know that it's their number, and they have a link with a code in it. They can put that wherever they want, and it will always track back to them. So it allows for a lot of different creative things, and affiliates who are maybe non-traditional affiliates, or even traditional affiliates who have access to databases of people and want to try email campaigns. But it really, I think, raises the level of trust to have a phone number that's yours, that's assigned to you for as long as you're in our program. Long cookie length. So what was the 90? 90-day cookie length, and it basically, I think, is long enough so that any lead that's in our system is going to close within 90 days. It's extremely rare for anything to go after it. Most close in a week or 2 weeks. And again, clear terms and conditions. Since we aren't a network, we really worded the terms and conditions on our site in a way that I think anybody could read and understand and decide, do I think that's fair or not fair? And I think our terms and conditions are probably more strict in terms of what we really want our affiliates to do and what we'd ask them not to do. But it's there, and they can read it, and it's in plain English. And we have people they can call and ask questions, so it's not a black box. So I think all of these things went into trying to build trust for our affiliate program. So recruitment, and again, I think this is the one where we're still struggling the most with. When networks aren't an option, how do you get yourselves out there? We have this portal with online sign-up. It's got a clear program description. I think it does a good job of selling the program and describing the program. Affiliates can go on and sign up, and we approve manually each one and then send them back a link with their phone number and how they should code their links and access to a library of documents. But that's really not enough. So we hired an affiliate sales manager who's here today, Andrew Blair, and Andrew calls on potential affiliates all day, every day. And it works, but it's very hard because it's a non-traditional program. And also, as I'm sure you all know, affiliates don't identify themselves very easily. So it's not like you can get an ad in affiliate magazine and know that you're reaching the right audience. So it's very labor intensive, a lot of heavy lifting. So attending Affiliate Summit helps, right? Because hopefully we'll get to meet a lot of affiliates here. Networking, that's been very successful for us. We've actually leveraged the affiliate program to get a lot of business development relationships that are a little bit more involved than a typical affiliate, but we never would have been able to have those if it wasn't for the system we have in place and if we weren't networking with people at shows like this and other businesses that we meet. And then our current customer base. Merchant Warehouse has approximately 85,000 customers, and they're all businesses. Many of them are web businesses. Many of them are nonprofits. Many of them, have access in some way to potential customers of ours. So we went to them and we said, here's an opportunity for you to make money by just leveraging your current relationships. So that's been moderately successful for us. But there's not a lot of big hitters in that group. They're not professional affiliates. They don't know the tricks of the trade. They don't do that for a living. So it's more like a referral, really, than an affiliate. How do we solve it with systems? This is kind of routing leads and things like that. So as I described, the phone system can identify the source as the traffic comes in. And with that, we're able to say, let's train like this subset of sales reps. We have about 50 in-house sales reps. Let's train this subset who really know about gateways or can identify that here's a group of customers that are coming to us off of an affiliate website that's related to dollar store wholesale, right? Those merchants are going to have really specific needs compared to an affiliate who sells restaurant supplies. So how can we use our phone system to route those to subsets of sales groups who are trained to identify them so they see when their phone rings? This is a call coming from this affiliate. They're trained to handle that. They pick up the phone. They know what they're getting into. They've been asked the same question by every other person who's called from that relationship, and the close rate on those leads is ridiculously high. Reporting infrastructure in-house. So we're able to, in a very detailed way, see which affiliates are producing in the best way for us and for themselves and provide them with a lot of detail about the ROI on those accounts. So in some cases, we'll proactively reach out to an affiliate and say, you're sending us these really high value accounts. Your accounts are better than average, and you're getting paid right now by the close. But just so you know, if you got paid by commissions over time, you could actually make more money if you continue to send us the same kind of traffic. And I think, the cynic in all of us says, well, why would Merchant Warehouse want to pay their affiliates more than what they're willing to accept? And quite frankly, that's an easy answer for me, because as long as I'm setting my metrics the right way and know that I'm making wise business deals, it's in my benefit to have an affiliate make as much as they can because they're going to be more incented to send me more leads. It's not a game that we play where it's let's pay affiliates as little as possible. When affiliates have a close rate that is, so the most we pay by the lead I think is $25 and the most we pay by the close is $200. It doesn't take a lot to get past that. Most of our leads close at 20, 30%. We'll proactively go to an affiliate and say, you need to switch to a by the close program because you're leaving hundreds or thousands of dollars on the table. In fact, we've been able to take CPM advertising opportunities and tell those networks that we don't, we'll take your traffic for a month, we'll pay CPM. But I'll bet you'd make more money if you just joined our affiliate program and just put our banner ads on your site. And almost every time, if they have good traffic, they're going to make way more money by the close than they are on a CPM basis. And we have the tracking to be able to show them that. And I've talked about this portal for marketing materials a little bit already, but the affiliate can log into our portal, and there's a huge amount of library of different kinds of banner ads with different messaging, documents that have their customized 800 number that they can hand out to people. Really, we're willing to help affiliates do whatever they think is going to work for them. If it's something we can scale and we think other affiliates are going to be interested in it, then we do it. We have email templates, straight links, text links, whatever the case might be. We try to provide it for our affiliates, and they have access to them through this portal where they also can get their reporting. So what does this mean for all of you? It's hard for me to anticipate if while giving this presentation, you're all sitting there thinking, yeah, this is an interesting opportunity, or maybe I could do something with my affiliate business. So I'm hoping that you guys can see that there's an opportunity here for businesses like ours who have affiliate programs, or even maybe businesses that don't have affiliate programs already, but don't really know how to market them, or don't have an effective way to do so, or have a level of sophistication that would make them show up on anybody's radar. In my space, in the credit card processing space, and we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar industry, there are really only, Andrew, 4 or 5 legitimate affiliate programs, would you say that's true? And thousands of companies. So, unless you're going looking for these people, how do you find them? But what I'm suggesting to you is that maybe it's worth your while to start looking for these kinds of people, because there is kind of an untapped ground here. There's not a lot of affiliate competition. And the people who are paying for clicks in the space, they pay a lot for organic optimization, but they're all focusing on the same keywords. The PPC is all focused on the same keywords. So we'll get into this in a little more detail, but my goal is to encourage you to say there is opportunity here as an affiliate to be in a space that's a little bit less competitive and maybe has higher payouts, but maybe it requires a little bit more legwork on your part to get it up and running. So if you can identify these people, maybe sell them on the opportunity. Go to, if Merchant Warehouse is paying for clicks and you're an affiliate, and you can say, hey, you know what, I want to get you traffic, but I want you to pay me by the lead because my traffic's better. Well, maybe there's an opportunity to do that. And I'm going to talk about how maybe affiliates can actually get that technology up and going themselves. But I'm hoping that there's an opportunity there. And maybe you yourself as an affiliate could develop the technology yourselves to carve out your own opportunities. I have an example. I got a call from a company that said, we place ads in Yellow Pages all across the country, Verizon, Dex, AT&T, so 99% of all the Yellow Pages. And they wanted to charge us by the call to place ads virtually in every single Yellow Pages. Well, Yellow Pages advertising is very difficult to measure. But because of this affiliate program, we said, sure, we'll do that. And they actually had their own system. So they put the 800 number in the ad. They could see how long calls lasted. And then obviously the call would come into their 800 number, they would transfer it to us, and then it would track the same way any other affiliate lead does. But they had access to how long was the call, when did it come in, and we were able to negotiate together to say a call that lasts 3 minutes or more and comes in Monday through Friday between 9 and 9, we're going to pay you for all of those, whether they become a lead or not, because we were able to measure on our end which ones actually became leads. So if you're able to set up an 800 number, perhaps, or invest in a technology that allows you to get reporting on calls, maybe there's opportunities for you here. So how do you identify them? Talked a little bit about these things already, but if a company's spending a lot of money on PPC and it's not hard to go into Google AdWords and figure out what clicks cost, then they're good candidates for affiliate programs. Yes, that means there's a lot of competition, but it's also likely that there's a lot of tail keywords that they're not taking advantage of. And it also obviously identifies that they're willing to spend a lot of money for traffic. Spaces with unsophisticated SEO. So, despite our lack of success and what I would consider relatively unsophisticated organic optimization within our industry, there's a lot of opportunity in that space to go after tail keywords and go after keywords that have modifiers in them, and we'll get into that a little bit more. Clearly, you want to partner with companies who have strong calls to action on their website, and you can therefore anticipate strong conversion rates. If you're looking into companies that are potential affiliates and you don't know how you'd convert as a visitor on their website, then obviously that's not a good affiliate. They're never going to be able to hit the metrics that you need in order to have an ROI. And obviously, therefore, you also want to talk to them about their sales process, because if they can't close the deals and you're getting paid by the close, then it's a waste of time. Again, I'd encourage you to explore the different companies that provide call tracking, because if you can have your own 800 number and then redirect that 800 number to a company that you're working with, you'll have access to a lot of data about those calls. And you'll be able to generate metrics that you can use as proxies for leads for phone calls. So again, if it's over a certain length of time, it counts as a lead. And the companies that are interested in working with you on this will be willing to negotiate that because it's hard to get more leads. The other thing is, it'd be a lot easier for everyone if the networks could somehow get on board with this. I mean, the technology that we've developed isn't scalable because it's our own systems. But it's not anything that's hard to do if you have the money to invest to do it. And I'd say to all of you, when you're talking to any networks, ask them why don't they allow for phone tracking? What can they do about that? Because if they could, there'd be a lot more opportunity there. And it's basically shutting off, basically every company I've ever worked for, and they've been huge companies that have done online lead generation, are never parts of these affiliate networks, and yet they spend hundreds of millions of dollars on marketing online. So there's a huge thing that's being gone untapped there. So what's worked for our affiliates so far? I think we've got about 300 affiliates in our program, and some are local businesses that just refer people to us, but some are really legitimate affiliates. We've got people sending us, remember we're talking much lower lead numbers here and much lower click numbers because we're B2B, but we have one affiliate who sends us, I think it's about 400 clicks a month, and we pay that affiliate about $12,000 to $15,000 a month. So you don't have to generate a ton of traffic. It's really just generating the right kind of traffic. So what's the right kind of traffic here? We found that our affiliates are having success with tail keywords related to best or top or lowest cost. So instead of going after the keyword credit card processing, go after the keyword best credit card processing, lowest cost credit card processing. There's a million permutations of these things, but companies like us are not investing our organic optimization for those tail keywords. And yet these affiliates who are able to send a very substantial and legitimate amount of traffic, and it's high quality traffic. So how to best leverage that traffic becomes important. So if you're going to do top or best or lowest cost, how can you make sure that the traffic that you're sending is most likely to become a lead or most likely to become a close? Well, we've found that endorsements work very well. So we happen to be, I'm very proud to say, a very ethical and highly rated and highly awarded company within our industry. So it makes it easy for our affiliates to take language, even just from our website or press releases, and spin it a little bit to say, we think Merchant Warehouse is a very legitimate player in the space. We trust them. We endorse them in some way. Also, review websites. There's one out there I think a lot of you have probably heard of called Top 10 Reviews. There's a lot of people who've stolen that model, and they will do top merchant account providers. Number 1, Merchant Warehouse. Number 2, Company B. And of course, we're hopeful that the review is legitimate. We're hopeful and believe that it's right to rank us number 1, but they're also affiliates. So that works. It works really well because the endorsement is what the customer's looking for. So when they click that and they get to us, they're half sold already. And all we have to do is not screw up. So if you develop a website like that, and I encourage you, if you are thinking about it, make it legitimate. Do a little research, call a company and talk to their sales reps and see what the experience is like. Say good things and bad things so the customer feels like it's legitimate. But it really works because if you're looking online for something and you're nervous shopping about it because it's something like credit card processing and you don't know a lot about it, well, I'm going to want to get endorsements from other people as well. So that really works. Another thing that's worked for a lot of our affiliates is non-traditional activities. Email marketing, postcards, telemarketing. These things are all possible based on the system we set up. So if you've got opportunities to leverage customers, if you've got opportunities to access databases, then that could be very successful for an affiliate program like ours, and it would be very difficult to pull that off on a more traditional affiliate program. Also, affiliates who have tangential services. So I mentioned before, gateway providers or shopping carts or stores that sell dollar store supplies. All of their customers need merchant account services. So it really makes a lot of sense for them to be advertising us on their websites. It's been really highly successful. So I wanted to give you a little bit more meat in that by describing our best affiliate, the guy who sends us, a mere 400 clicks, and yet we pay him $12,000 to $15,000 a month, and that's growing extremely rapidly. He's an interesting character because obviously we know who he is. He had to sign up for our program. We're paying him enough money, so there's tax implications. So he's clearly, a legitimate person, but I've never met him. He works online under a pseudonym, and basically he publishes articles on the article repository sites. You probably all know a lot more about them than I do, with links back to his review website where he then endorses Merchant Warehouse in a sincere and legitimate way, along with other companies who, of course, happen to also be affiliates. But that process of targeting kind of these best keywords and targeting top and tail keywords that have good volume and can have an extremely high click-through rate. You're probably talking 30 to 35% click-through rate on these. Very high conversion rate. You're probably talking 50% conversion rate. Very high close rate, 35% close rate. I know all of you are probably thinking, those are ridiculous metrics, but that's B2B, especially if it's going, this really subset of the traffic that's looking for the best, looking for an endorsement. You give them an endorsement. They get to a company that seems legitimate. That company has a good website and sales team. It's really easy to start having there be very substantial revenue opportunity with a very small amount of traffic. So that's basically the end of my formal presentation. How long did I go? No, that's pretty good. Again, I'd love to take the rest of the time here for any questions. If you've got specific questions for me or ideas to share with the audience. Hal over here has a wireless microphone. Hal, we've got a question already in the back. Again, we've got this slide here about ways to send me questions up here at the podium if you want to be more anonymous. It's fine with me either way. I'm going to go back to here. Andrew Blair over here. I'm going to pimp for Andrew for a second. Andrew is our affiliate sales manager. If anyone wants specifically more information about how to sign up for our affiliate program, Andrew's here. And I want to apologize to anyone who comes up in advance at the end. I left my business cards. I'm not staying in this hotel, and I left my business cards back there. But Hal and Andrew have business cards, and I'll write my name and extension on them. So thank you all very much, and I'd love to hear your questions.
So I'm David with Textingly, and we're kind of going through some of what you're going through, and I wanted to find out whether you came across any affiliate networks that do focus on B2B or do focus on small business or that type of thing. Do you know of any, or does anybody in the room know of any?
Yeah, so we don't know of any. Hal or Andrew, do you guys come across anybody that focuses on B2B specifically or can handle anything like what we do? Or even a B2B where it's all online?
No, personally, we haven't really found any network that at least have been able to say they have substantial traffic in that space. It looked like you have a comment.
I don't think I need the microphone. Sure. We actually work for Partner Commerce, which is a strictly B2B affiliate network out there. So if you'd like, maybe we can talk after that, but we solely focus on B2B, and we have opened up doors that haven't been opened before. So if you'd like to talk later, just come back there.
So if I could ask a follow-up then, how does our program sound? I mean, do you run across anything like this? Are you equipped to handle calls? Great. I'd love to meet you after the session if you can. Thanks. Any other questions?
Hi, I'm Cindy. I'm the affiliate program manager for Infusionsoft. We sell software that does a lot of what you're saying, but we have an affiliate program, and I'm wondering, I have a question, it may be two, depending on how you answer the first one.
Sure.
Since you pay leads, you pay your affiliates for leads and sales, is there a time where you pay two different affiliates, one for the lead and one for the sale?
I'm sorry, do we pay the same affiliate two different ways? Or?
Has there ever been a circumstance where there's two affiliates involved? One of them brought you the lead, but then one of them brought you this, one of them had something to do with the sale between the time they became a lead and when they bought?
I'm not sure I can think of a circumstance how that could happen, so I don't think it's happened before. I mean, we tag each lead as uniquely coming from someone, so that affiliate owns that lead for 90 days. So in theory, it shouldn't be possible that they could have both had the lead and the close.
So you wouldn't overwrite, if somebody came in through affiliate A and then they had contact with affiliate B would not be overwritten for 90 days?
That's how the system should work.
Okay,
Yes.
interesting, thanks.
So did I answer it all in one question?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Hal, there's in the back over there.
We're going to do this one first.
Have you had any problems where you had to kick out affiliates, police them somehow?
We've had instances where we've had to have conversations with affiliates, and that's where having more control over that dialogue has been helpful. They typically have to do with branding issues. So we had an affiliate who was getting a little bit too aggressive, trying to ride our brand. There was at one time, he had his meta tags said, "Don't call Merchant Warehouse until you read this." And it made it seem like it was a very bad thing, but then he was endorsing us highly on the website. So we had to have a conversation with him and say, yeah, I know you're getting a lot of clicks on that, but that's not really the spirit of what we're going after here. We did negotiate out one affiliate. They wanted to get paid by the lead, but their traffic, after getting hundreds of leads from them, converted so poorly that we told them that we were going to only agree to pay them by the close. And this was after months of working with them. And we feared we might lose them, and we did, although I'm betting they'll come back to us because I still think they'll make more with us than they will with anybody else. But other than that, Hal, anyone else you can remember we've kicked out?
No, I don't think anything ever escalated to us having to kick them out. I think since we have that kind of review process and have a good relationship with them, we're able to come up with a solution if there are issues that we have with how they're marketing us.
So my name is Alexander Bock. I'm from Germany, and I'm running affiliate business like 10 years, and I would just do some small comments. You say in the trust area that they have a long cookie time, which is 90 days, which I think it's a normal cookie time. If it would be a long one, it would be like a lifetime. And as you do like your 99% of your sales 2 or 3 the first weeks, then should not bother you to have a longer one, and gives the affiliates more trust. And we have a technology in Europe which we call view through. So affiliates, of course, there are certain rules attached. If an affiliate shows an ad to a customer and the customer comes back and not clicking on it but typing in your URL, it's tracked as well as a sales. And that provides more trust for the partners because he gets all the sales.
Right.
So I think that's good. And for the recruiting, have you thought about making an affiliate program for your affiliate program and uses your affiliates and giving them money when they bring you new people? Just
yeah, so those are all really good questions, and I'll try to remember. There's 3 of them there. So the first one was an infinite cookie time. I think that's a fair point, and we debated this for a while. The truth is that people switch in our industry from merchant account provider to merchant account provider with some relatively high frequency. You know, if we keep a customer for 3 years, we're happy, but a lot of them leave after a few months and go to somebody else, and we get a lot of people coming to us that were with somebody else. And they also don't all close with us. So if we closed 100% of the deals, that would be one thing, but we don't close most of them, 70%. So our decision there was that we would, give 90 days, that most should close. But if someone initiated a new search at a later date and clicked on Google or clicked on another affiliate, that we felt more comfortable that that second affiliate had to do with that lead and not the old lead before. So I see your point. The second question was, I forget what the second question was. Well, I'm sorry, the what?
the customer only sees the ad but don't clicks, but comes back within 2 or 3 days and types in
Yeah, so direct navigation. So Hal, correct me if I'm wrong, but the cookie should still write the custom number when that happens. Is that correct?
Yes. The cookie is set when he sees the ad.
Yeah, so they'll still get the custom phone number on our website when they visit us again the second time, even if they direct nav, because it'll read the cookie. And the third question was about recruiting, right?
Yeah, use your affiliates.
Yes, so sub-affiliates is what we call them, and that's probably what they're called. The reporting for that is complex, and we're figuring out how we want to handle that now. It's on our roadmap to do this year, but because it's a little bit more complex, we don't have a system set up for it now. It's a significant development challenge, but it's a very good suggestion, and we are working towards that.
Hi, I'm Valerie, and I manage an online, easy-to-use website builder affiliate program called Yola. I was just wondering what your search policies were.
You mean how we allow affiliates to use paid search?
Yes.
So we discourage them from competing with us, which was one of the reasons why we wanted to run our own program. I used to do search marketing for a treadmill provider, and they sold high-end expensive treadmills. And their CPCs were quadruple what they would be if it weren't for their own affiliates. So we ask affiliates to not advertise on our core keywords on the main 3 search engines, and then we tell them, do whatever you want anywhere else because we're not there. We don't have the resources or the interest in managing second-tier or third-tier search engines, so that's how we do manage it. And I know that's kind of strict, but that was a choice that we consciously made knowing there was some downside to it. Do you have any thoughts about that?
I was just wondering if you see a lot of your competitors in that space as opposed to, which would you prefer, your competitors being there or your partners?
Yeah.
I guess is the question.
It's a good question, and I think that's a hard one because there's such strong pros and cons on both sides. So ironically enough, for our brand, we've allowed affiliates to organically rank on our brand because we'd rather them there than, the rip-off report or some ridiculous thing like that. But in paid search, the clicks are so expensive. Frankly, I'm not sure affiliates could make that work anyway. And it's just the decision we made not to do, and I don't know, frankly, if it's right or wrong, but that's what we decided.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Oh, great, thank you. Yes, I can expand on how we tie a phone call. I don't know if everybody here wants to hear that or not, so raise your hand if you want me to get into that in detail. All right, there's only a few, so the folks who want to hear that, just come up to me at the end, and I'll be happy to explain it in more detail. Database of affiliates who you proactively contact. Andrew.
I just kind of go about and I pick a industry vertical. I find the major players in that vertical and I call them. And I try to encourage them to join our affiliate program.
So Andrew spends a couple days a week prospecting, builds up a list in a certain vertical, and then goes after that list for a couple weeks and then builds up a new list. It's a lot of heavy lifting, which is why I've said that getting the networks on board with this would be a lot easier for everybody. But it's the toughest part for sure. It's the thing we've had the biggest challenge and the least success with. Anyone else? Yes?
Hi, I'm Jeff Grill from Mimeo.com.
Hi, Jeff.
I'm the affiliate manager. We're a B2B, have similar challenges to yourself, but much earlier in the cycle, like in just starting out. So if you were just starting out today, would you go out at it yourself, or would you hire an OPM or work with one of the networks? Even though I understand that B2B experience is not extensive, and also we're fairly, we're going from being a large business B2B marketer to now going after SOHO and small business.
I think, so first of all, you have to be able to absorb the technology costs. So assuming you're able to absorb the technology costs, which are not insignificant, the phone systems are expensive and the customization of the phone systems are expensive. I would still do it myself, and here's why. the things that we've been enabled to do and the partnerships that we've been able to bring on because of the tracking system we developed for the affiliate program have actually turned into much bigger opportunities than the affiliate program. And I think you'd probably find the same if you went down that road. And I also think that if you're just looking at the affiliate program portion of it, we'd have 0 affiliates if we had gone with networks. I just don't know how we could adequately compensate an affiliate with the network involved, because half of our conversions are calls. So in our case, with our circumstances, it made more sense to build it, and because of what other opportunities it's given us, that's what I'd do again.
I just wanted to say real quick, there's like a new technology that a lot of the affiliate platforms have started to use called Ring Revenue. You can find on Commission Junction a bunch of other ones that does the call tracking with reporting and everything. So it's a lot cheaper for a B2B affiliate or advertiser to do that now.
So could you describe that a little bit more? How does it work?
So basically it creates custom phone numbers for each affiliate, sort of like how you do it.
Yep.
Up to 5 phone numbers per affiliate.
Mm-hmm.
And then you basically set up a call structure. So you say like, at 1 minute it costs $1. At 5 minutes it costs like $12, and then at 10 minutes that's a big call, we'll pay $40 or whatever.
It's really interesting. And again, I think that's a good example of different ways that affiliates can try to work within these non-traditional industries. So thank you very much for bringing that to my attention. Do you work with them, or have you just used that service?
We've used them and we're friends with them because they're from the same Santa Barbara.
Uh-huh.
We're not like associated with them.
I'd love to get the contact information for them, or even just yours to follow up with it. Thank you. Anyone else? No more questions on the board and no more hands. So I want to thank you again very much for your interest and your time today. It's been a lot of fun speaking with you. Thank you. Call Andrew.